Helena, Texas, the toughest town on earth. And I want to welcome Dan LaFave, his wife, his crew, and he'll introduce everybody. Graveyard Shift, they're the best. And these guys, sincerely, nobody knows Helena better than his crew. They've been here more times than anybody else, so they know the ins and the outs. This highway you see out here, 81, used to be a trail for the buffaloes, followed by the Indians. Then the Spaniards came, of course, anywhere from the late 1500s, 1600s. And then later the Anglos and so on and so forth. But this road here had many names. The last name was the Ox Cart Road, Ox Cart Trail. And across this, you had Spanish troops in the 1700s because you had the presidios, which are forts. And my two sons, their ancestors, I believe, were the head of the military in San Antonio around 1730. So that's why they got all excited about this. But Santa and his men went across here. You had Robert E. Lee in 1846 to 48 was here, widening the road. Then the town was founded in 1852. It grew so quickly that it became a county, Torrance County, in 1854. And people just poured in. At that time, this was considered Southwest Texas. This was one of the wildest, most violent places in the Old West. Made Tombstone look like a Sunday school picnic. Had lady outlaws here, Sally Skull. We have that all in the books. And you had John Wesley Hart, very famous. You had big gangs like the Taylor Gang, which was part of the Taylor-Sutton feud. It was the bloodiest feud in Texas history. And the Taylor Gang, one of their hideouts and headquarters was just a few miles from here. So there's a lot of history here. These buildings, this was moved here from Gillette. It's over 100 years old. The courthouse is from 1873. Post office is from the 1800s. Barn is old. You have those two jail cells, one from Falls City, and the one from Helena was actually part of a two-story jail back there, which we believe, we don't, as some of the people who saw the movie already, we don't believe necessarily it's the buildings that are haunted. We believe it's the land itself. On the other side, she's got about two to three ghosts in there now. And then the worst of the best is the Ruffman Mansion, where we're going to take you later, and that's where evil resides.
All right, this is my wife Connie, and my name's Dan LaFave. We've been investigating paranormal a long time. I've been going on 14 years now. I got into this field probably just about it for any reason that anybody else would. I've had a lot of things happen that I could never explain. I'm very analytical. I look at things very scientifically. I've run into things that just would blow your mind. I stood in buildings where the temperature was 98 degrees, air conditioning off. Within a few seconds it drops. You feel like you're in a deep freeze. You see your breath right in front of you. You get goosebumps as big as, hills up on your arm. You just feel things on you. It's hard to describe when you feel these moments, but it's just downright scary. Been in a lot of things. We've investigated a lot of places across Texas, a lot of historical locations. As Barry was telling you, we're probably the most familiar with Helena as far as the paranormal. We were called out here in 2007 by his wife, who again lives right on the other side of this courthouse. And back in those days, we were kind of trying to put the pieces together. And a lot of times when you put the pieces together, a lot of it comes from history. And if y'all don't realize, but Texas is probably one of the most fascinating states, probably in the United States, because so much happened here in Texas. There were so many battles. There was just a lot of skirmishes with Indians, a lot of Civil War. A lot of people don't realize that Texas was a very integral part as far as the Confederacy. A lot of supplies were brought straight up through here because all the ports were blocked by the North, and the South had no way to get supplies except through Mexico or straight up through the Gulf. So the North knew this, and they were trying to attack every single port that they could, including the one down by Brownsville and also Indianola, which is straight down this road basically to the Gulf of Mexico, which got wiped out by a hurricane several years ago. We've been all over Texas. I'm not going to lie to you. We try to hit every historical point. We probably would have investigated the Alamo by now, except for the fact that they will not let a paranormal team into the Alamo. We're still going to try to be the first one of these days, and it might happen because there are a lot of things that do happen. Now, my wife can also fill you in on a lot of things that we've done.
Sure. It's funny, a little love story. I met my husband when I joined his team back in 2006, and I was looking for the same thing. I was looking for a team to hunt with because I was interested in the paranormal. And all of us paranormal investigators have experiences that have brought us to this field, and I'm sure all of you have your own experiences that you can share with us around the ghost fire tonight. Roast marshmallows, and I'll attempt to play guitar, and I may hand it over to Brandon, who can really play guitar. And then you can watch him try to play the guitar over me trying to play the guitar. So anyway, the point I was trying to make was we've met each other all in different fields. We all have different interests.
This is our group over
right.
here.
Right. This is our group here. Javier,
some of them.
Edward, JC, and his wife Ronnie is with us today. And we've had a lot of team members come and go due to a lot of reasons, moving and things like that. And it's funny because we started out in Harlingen 5 years ago when we started our own team. And like I said, we had met before on another team and joined. Then we followed each other to another team, and then from there we came to Harlingen because I'm a teacher, and I wanted to start my teaching career down there. So we ended up down there, and we met these great people who helped us create something special, something of our own, something that we could take to another level of investigation. We love what we do. We're not in it for money. We're not in it for fame, but we love doing what we love to do. And it's led us to books. It's led us to, YouTube and documentaries and things like that, and we love all that. And it's fun, but what we really want to do is be here with you. This is the part that we love the most.
And the main thing that we've always done with the paranormal is it's real easy to tell people to believe in ghosts. We don't do that. What we try to do is have everyone that comes with us have their experience. Now, we can't explain why this happens, but it seems like every location we go in, we seem to ramp it up.
We get something every time.
We don't know why it
Every
happens,
time.
but we got in complete sentences talking back in different languages, direct communication. There's going to be skeptics out there, and people obviously have a right to be skeptical. I used to be skeptical. I still am to a lot of points, but I'm also very analytical. We're both military veterans. I come from the Air Force as far as security police. She used to be an Army intelligence analyst. I also used to investigate insurance claims for fraud on people, so I do have a lot of investigation
both
experience.
paralegals.
So
Yeah.
we look at things very, very closely from an analytical viewpoint. Now, the bottom line is, out of all the locations we've been in, including Helena, I would tend to say Helena is probably one of the most haunted locations we've ever been. And this place is just starting to really become known to the rest of the world. Not because we want to put it out there for fame or anything, but we're letting people know that there are things going on here. Now, last year we did have a very exciting event. Several people are here that were here last year.
Who was here last year? Raise your hand. Did y'all like it last year?
It was pretty exciting, wasn't it? A lot of fun. We're going to do things differently. I'm not just wearing this getup tonight because I like to wear this. It's believed that in the paranormal, when you wear things having to do with the situation, a lot of times it can ramp up the activity. That's one of the reasons why I'm wearing
We're in a
this
duster
tonight.
and boots.
Now, like my wife said, I've written 2 books. I did this one in 2012. This one
Informational.
came out in June. These are both on Amazon. These are very good books. This one goes very in-depth into the paranormal world. It's called Shadow the Ghost Hunter. This one I came out with in June is called The Supernatural Texas in the Old West.
Those are ghost stories.
This hinges on a lot of the locations that we've been to and the different things we've experienced. It's not your ordinary ghost book. I don't believe in writing just stories. I like to tell basically what's been happening from a historical viewpoint and also from our investigation experience. Now, I can tell you we're going to have a fun night. We're not just telling you this. This place is active. And to tell you how active it was, there was a recent radio show that was out here that's very popular, and they just filmed out here. They had a lot of things happen. And you all are going to get the experience in a little while of seeing a little bit of that video of what they ran into. Probably going to play. How much of that we're going to play,
10
Barry?
minutes.
Okay, that's fine.
And then
Going to give y'all just a quick.
And the rest, if everybody's interested after you finish, we'll give you the final 30 minutes, which is great stuff. But we didn't want to hold you back, so we just want to give you a taste.
And that's going to give you a good taste of what's going on here in Helena. So, yes.
So why this area? Like, what specific?
It
brought
was
you
very
to the land?
brutal.
Violent.
But it was specifically here in Helena. Why are we on this plot of land? Is there something
Because this is the actual
here?
building that it all
Right
happened.
across the street, y'all can see, that's the old Masonic Lodge. And it's also believed that the KGC, the Knights of the Golden Circle, if you ever watch conspiracy shows, you're going to know exactly who the KGC were. They used to run a lot of things throughout the South. It's believed that this was one of their main hangouts. They did a lot of planning,
saloon in there.
supposedly inside that building. The old hangman's tree to the right across. How many people did they hang from that tree, Barry?
In 1869, 13 months, 150 to 300 people.
We've
Now-
gotten EVPs from that tree.
We've gotten very scary EVPs off of that tree, and there's also no electrical sources around that tree. You can take an EMF detector and put it up on that tree a lot of times. It would just go crazy.
People believe that when you go to a place, it could be haunted, but we believe that it's not so. We believe it can be anywhere at any time of the day, and it doesn't matter where you are. It could be in the middle of the day at a cemetery, you could be outside talking to a tree. But all those places, we think it's there all the time. Why do we do it at night?
We do it at night because it's more controlled. You don't have, vehicle noises.
We're going to teach you how to tag your voice. And we're going to teach you basically from the. How many of you would like to learn, like you don't know anything? Okay, so you're going to do that tonight. You're going to learn everything. We're going to give you a lot of instruction. If you have questions about, someone was asking me, and we got into it. I got blah blah blah, talk. I got into how my ovulus works, or why we look at spectral camera imaging. Why we listen to digital recorders. Why all that, and how is it scientific? We can tell you all those things.
I also want you to see the evidence. So what we're going to do tonight, which we do a lot of times during investigations, we're going to take very short, what we call EVP segments, probably 4 to 5 minutes at a time in your locations. Basically, as you're recording, you go around in a circle, you ask questions, you wait 10 seconds with the pause in between your questions to give them an opportunity to answer you. What we're going to do is we're going to do these little short segments so that you can hear for yourself when the EVPs come up. You're going to know at that point that there's no fraudulent things going on. It happens. Now, there's no guarantee that it is going to happen because the paranormal does only happen about 10% of the time. But in this place, I'm not going to lie to you, it's amazing. Every time we come out of here, we've walked out with just amazing things. The Ruckman house last year, we had a hard time keeping some people inside the house. Things started happening. The door started slamming, the front door. A lot of people heard movement noises. Some people were wanting to get out of there. Some other teams that have been out here have really run into some creepy stuff. So I'm going to tell everybody to be prepared because anything can happen.
Okay, what we have is a series of locations. We have the post office, we have the courthouse, and there's little jail cells over there. We have the farmhouse, and then in the back there is the Ruckman Mansion. So what we're going to do is we're going to break up into groups according to each team member is going to take you, and you can pick whoever you want to go with. But we'll break it off, and every 30 minutes we'll be switching out into a new place. Okay?
We're also Barry's still doing the barn, right, as well?
We can do that.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
That's a biggie. That one's creepy.
Yeah.
The farmhouse and the post house will be together. The courthouse and the barn we can put together. The KGC needs to be by itself because it's huge. And go to the Ruckman house, and what we'll do is we'll just break up. You'll group with someone, and you'll have a great time,
Now,
and we'll teach you stuff.
real quick, apparitions have been seen in the Ruckman house. They've been seen in here. I think they've been seen in the courthouse at different times.
Oh yeah, someone touched my hair
And
upstairs.
Shadow figures. Anybody heard the term shadow figures before?
It was like
Anybody heard it?
8 months pregnant.
They've been seen right
5 years
over in
ago.
that Masonic Lodge many, many times. We did an investigation one night where there was one walking around it. When it happens, it's creepy.
Something fell from the ceiling.
Yeah. That's
That
one of the
was weird.
reasons why we still do this. I've probably done a neighborhood of close to 500 paranormal investigations. That's a lot. And I still come out because I enjoy it, the fascination, the curiosity. I'm not going to lie to you, I do get scared.